At 10 and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, 3 men in jail accused in a grocery store robbery yesterday afternoon.
A human smuggling suspect out of Kingsville is arrested in Victoria.
And authorities out of Fayette County made a huge cocaine bust Tuesday afternoon.
We've got clear skies and cool temperatures tonight, but slowly but surely the sun's going to warm us up. We're looking for the 80s by the time we get to the weekend, so we'll be talking about that tonight.
And the Victoria East Titans and West Warriors are gearing up for the biggest game of the season, and now there's a lot on the line. That's coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
The day after Governor Greg Abbott said he believed the legislature could pass a school vouchers bill before the end of the special session, the House all but killed any deal. The Texas Tribune reports the House met briefly Wednesday evening and recessed likely until Monday or Tuesday. The special session ends Tuesday, and the House has not even considered a voucher bill in committee. This all but guarantees a fourth special session. At around 4:30 p.m. today, Victoria police arrested a 28-year-old man driving an SUV at the corner of Camellia and Mockingbird. The driver was passed out with his 3-year-old daughter in the back seat. Officers broke the driver's side window to rescue the driver. They administered Narcan to the driver, who failed the sobriety test from being high on opiates. He was arrested for driving while intoxicated with a minor. The child and vehicle were released to family members. An educator in the Victoria ISD faces charges of misdemeanor assault involving a special needs student. The teacher was at Shawlomer Elementary in the 2500 block of Millette Drive. She's identified as 35-year-old Stephanie Overstreet from Cuero. The Texas Education Agency is investigating the incident and has placed a flag on her teaching certificate. The incident in question happened on September 21st. Overstreet is no longer employed by the VISD.
Victoria police arrested 3 men accused in a robbery at a grocery store Tuesday afternoon. Gerald Potts, Derek Williams, and Jordan Ashton are at the Victoria County Jail. They face a number of charges, including aggravated robbery and engaging in organized crime. Police say the man robbed the Supermercado Morales grocery store in the 2200 block of Lone Tree Road. It happened around 3 p.m. All suspects are from Houston. Ashton and Potts are being held in lieu of $230,000 bond each, and William is being held in lieu of $270,000 bond.
A Bay City man turned himself in on Monday as police sought him in connection to a shooting that left another man hospitalized last Thursday. The Bay City Tribune reports Roscoe Moore III was arrested on a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon after a 38-year-old man was shot in the stomach. Moore is in the Matagorda County Jail in lieu of $50,000 bond. The Fayette County Narcotics Canine Unit seized 23 kilos of cocaine on a traffic stop. An 18-wheeler pulling a flatbed trailer was stopped on Interstate 10 Tuesday afternoon. A search found the trailer's axles had been altered to conceal cocaine with a street value of $2.3 million. The driver, Carlos Rebolosa of Monterrey, Mexico, was arrested for felony drug possession.
The Victoria County Sheriff's Office arrested 34-year-old Jonathan Lee Martinez of Kingsville. The suspect was a probation arrest on a warrant for human smuggling. Martinez is held on no bond in the Victoria County Jail.
Lavaca County Commissioners lifted the burn ban there today. Authorities are asking if you choose to burn, continue to use caution and have safeguards in place before you burn. The burn ban was put into effect in Lavaca County July 23rd. And let's take a first look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez. And Mac, the burn ban being taken off in Lavaca County, obviously because we have had a whole bunch of rain in the last week or so.
Well, we had some rain. I wouldn't call it a whole bunch because
compared to before.
I'm looking for more. Compared to the summer, yes, it was a deluge. But after the next 7 days, which we don't expect rain, we may have to reconsider, Here we are. We were 39 this morning, so it was rather chilly. But tonight, all the freeze warnings are up in East Texas. And we're out of them. In fact, we're going to start warming up out of the big chill that we had for 2 days, and we'll be talking more about that coming up in just a moment.
Mac, thank you. One of the families struggling to pick up the pieces after last week's mass shooting in Lewiston, Maine is Peyton Brewer Ross.
Yeah, he leaves behind a fiance and a 2-year-old daughter.
It's not a case of where he died of an illness or died in a car accident. He was taken from us.
Nancy Lowell Cunningham, Peyton's older sister, says his fiance has no idea how to tell their little girl what's happened to her dad.
She's looking for daddy. She woke up on last Thursday morning, and the first words out of her mouth is, "Daddy, where's Daddy?" She was a daddy's girl.
She may never remember or have any awareness of, the time she had with him. And like I said, as a father, that's just horrible to think about.
Union Rep Devin Ragnar says he and Peyton were often study partners in BIW's 4-year apprenticeship program.
Peyton absolutely was a kind, compassionate, caring individual. He was the kind of person who, when you spoke, he was listening.
He says Peyton had a larger-than-life personality. He loved comics, wrestling, his Macho Man Randy Savage Slim Jim jacket, and making people laugh.
He liked WWE wrestling. He enjoyed cornhole and disc golf. And he was just a great guy to be around.
BIW President Chuck Cruz says in a statement they are heartbroken over his death. He says Peyton completed the grueling coursework and on-the-job training of BIW's rigorous apprenticeship program, graduating in 2022. He was a valuable member of our team and will be sorely missed. That's Peyton dancing with his daughter.
He was just vibrant and had so much to give and had worked so hard to get where he was.
Peyton's sister says the entire family is overwhelmed by the outpouring of support from around the state.
We just want everybody to know that we thank you for everything they're doing for us. We feel the love and support.
She says some of her attention is now on the information authorities had them warning about the gunman before the incident. She's wondering why more wasn't done to prevent it. A GoFundMe account set up to help the family has already raised tens of thousands of dollars.
People are paying their respects at a growing makeshift memorial in Lewiston, Maine. The Just-in-Time Recreation Bowling Alley is one of 2 sites where 18 people were killed in the mass shooting on October 25th. Mourners are remembering friends and loved ones by placing rows of pumpkins etched with victims' names and other tributes outside the bowling alley. 7 people died in the bowling alley. 8 people died at a nearby bar and grill. 3 others died in the hospital. 13 more were hurt. The Victoria PD responded to a 2-car crash Wednesday around 4 p.m. Victoria PD said a Ford Mustang ran a stop sign, hitting a Toyota SUV. The SUV then flipped over, coming to rest upside down. No one was hurt. The driver of the Mustang received a citation for running that stop sign.
A 2-vehicle crash between Laurent and Red River Street took place shortly before 2 p.m. Police say a black Mercedes failed to yield at a turn signal, causing the northbound black Ford Focus to crash. No major injuries were reported, but the driver of the Mercedes was issued a citation for failing to yield and for not having a driver's license. The driver of the Ford Focus was issued a citation for having an expired license. Here's some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave. A joint project between the TxDOT and Formosa Plastics is underway on FM 1593 with utility adjustments being made. And Calhoun County Sheriff's Office narcotics investigator is retiring after 31 years of service. Plus, Port Lavaca held their yearly Monster Mile Mash Halloween celebration on October 28th at the Lighthouse Beach. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com.
In this Texas constitutional amendment election, Proposition 10 would free certain medical or biomedical property from taxation on that property's value. It would clear equipment used in the manufacturing of medical or biomedical products or the products themselves from taxation on that property's value. Election day is Tuesday, November 7th.
Here's your viewer poll. You can scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. The question is, how do you plan to vote for Proposition 10? Are you for it or are you against it? According to our results, it looks like 70% are for it and 30% are against it. Thank you for voting tonight.
Early voting in Victoria for the November 7th election continued Wednesday. The numbers from the Victoria County Election Administrator look like this. 322 people voted in person early Wednesday. 1,805 people have voted early in Victoria County so far. No mail-in votes were received Wednesday, a total of 379 mail-in votes so far.
You can vote early in Victoria County the next 2 days. There are extended hours from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Thursday and Friday. You can vote at the Dr. Patty Dotson Public Health Center, 2805 North Navarro in Classroom A. And congratulations to Emily Bennett and her puppy Luna. Emily submitted Luna dressed as Dolly Parton with the caption Doggy Parton has arrived, y'all. Luna received the most votes in the Halloween pet costume contest on CrossroadsToday.com. Emily and Luna won a $100 Visa gift card courtesy of Navarro Small Animal Clinic. So thanks to everyone who submitted their Halloween photos.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. Donald Trump Jr. testified in his family's civil fraud trial, coming up on 25 News Now at 10, what Trump Jr. said on the witness stand.
Also ahead, health leaders in Florida are expressing concerns about a sharp rise in cancer among young people. Donald Trump Jr. took the stand today in the civil fraud trial against his family and their business. He is a defendant in the $250 million lawsuit brought by the New York Attorney General's office. Trump Jr. testified that he never worked on his father's financial statements. He was questioned Wednesday in court about the documents that are at the heart of the trial that threatens former President Donald Trump's real estate empire. Trump Jr. and his brother Eric are accused of participating in a scheme to inflate their father's net worth to obtain financial benefits. The U.S. Federal Reserve announced a hold on its key interest rate. In a press conference today, Fed Chairman Jerome Powell said interest rates for the benchmark lending rate would remain the same. It's at its highest level in 22 years. That means higher interest rates for loans on things like mortgages, credit cards, and car loans. But it also means American savings accounts are generating more interest.
Inflation has moderated since the middle of last year, and readings over the summer were quite favorable. But a few months of good data are only the beginning of what it will take to build confidence that inflation is moving down sustainably toward our goal.
Traditional brick and mortar banks are offering yields on savings accounts that are less than 1%, but several online banks are offering as much as 5% or more on high yield savings accounts.
An alarming new report from the Florida Cancer Connect collaborative showing an increase in the number of younger people being diagnosed with cancer.
The report out of Florida mirrors trends in cancer diagnosis nationwide.
Health officials sounding the alarm on cancer risks for young people. A new report out of Florida finding a 15% increase in the rate of cancer in people ages 20 to 39 from 2010 to 2020 in the state. Breast cancer found to be the most common among younger women, as well as thyroid cancer and melanoma. Lung cancer is the most lethal for all ages. The data in line with global trends showing increased cancer diagnosis in people under 50 and higher early cancer rates in women than in men.
I was just finishing up breastfeeding and I had a 10-month-old. I was diagnosed with stage 2B with triple negative breast cancer. Yeah, I mean, I was completely shocked.
Lauren Dagas says she was 31 when she was diagnosed and does not have any type of strong cancer history in her family.
One of the biggest things of why it's so important for me to share my message is the fact that it wasn't on my radar at all. I wasn't really in tune with doing myself breast exams.
Dr. Jen Ashton pointing to several reasons for the rise as different types of cancers have varying factors.
Environmental exposure has to be considered. Things like air quality, water quality, chemicals in our environment, our behavior, very important. How much alcohol is being consumed, diet, obesity, less active, more sedentary lifestyles.
Doctors also recommend following your age recommendation for cancer screenings and knowing your family history. In Los Angeles, Melissa Don, ABC News.
Here's some of the top headlines you can read in the Cuero Record. Cuero Regional Hospital recognized nationally for stroke care. DeWitt County Commissioner Curtis Afflerbach retires after 19 years of service, plus the Lady Gobblers win district. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com. It was a dress rehearsal this evening for the Victoria Bach Festival Orchestra and the Victoria Civic Chorus. This is the practice run for tomorrow's Requiem for the Living concert. For 49 years, the Victoria Bach Festival has been a part of the fabric of Victoria. They have sought to bring classical music into the community, and it has always been supported and well received. Tomorrow's concert is part of a collaborative effort between the Victoria Civic Chorus and the Victoria Bach Festival.
Tomorrow's concert is a collaborative effort between these three organizations to bring music to our community that may otherwise not have been presented.
Personally, it means a lot just to be able to assemble all my favorite choir singers and a whole new group of favorite musicians to put this together. It's because it takes so much collaboration and effort to put together an orchestra and a choir. It doesn't happen very often.
Over 30 players in this event have been working on this for several months and are ready to perform in a full orchestra concert Thursday night at 7:30 at the Leo J. Welder Center.
Well, good evening, everyone. Obviously, it's a little chilly out there, but not as cold as this morning. We were down to 39 degrees when you went out to take the dog out. Right now, it's 46. We're probably going to bottom out at about 40, 42. That's this morning, and that was this afternoon. Thing is, we're going to get a lot of sunshine for the next couple of days. Fairly dry, however. Of course, this is the beginning of November, so we don't have any rain just yet, and we won't have any for about 7 days. So we'll be talking what to expect for the rest of the week in terms of temperatures, and we'll look for some rain. All right, we'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, I'm trying to remember, Don, when did it get cold? It was Sunday night, Monday morning. So Monday was cold, frigid, cloudy, wet, drained. Tuesday was cold, and now it's Wednesday. Yeah. And that's about it. That's the length of our winter, because we're going into nice fall weather for the next couple of days, but you might even say it may be a little warm. All of our cloud cover, all of our humidity, all of that blew away in the last couple hours, actually since yesterday. And of course, that's because of the north wind. The north wind also brings us the cold air, while tonight will be probably around 40, 42 as a low temperature. We are looking at some areas of East Texas right about here that will be below freezing tonight, and they're getting their first freeze warning of the season. And this is a big one, really, because it's the first night that they'll be below 32 for more than 2 hours, and that gives us pretty much a killing frost. Anything that's not native or evergreen will probably, will fall over and just give up for the winter. And that is going to be also a big deal throughout much of the south. I mean, I'm talking the deep south, where they'll be hitting freezing temperatures. It says 39 here. I'm thinking, let's put it this way. The dog is going to know how cold it is before he goes outside, and he may not go outside because I'm not going out there. Anyway, so here you see the below freezing temperatures that are for northeast Texas and for East Texas as well. But tomorrow, abundant sunshine, and we're looking for temperatures moving up to about 78 degrees, and then slowly but surely we'll get up to 80 degrees by the time we get to the weekend. The reason is the high pressure. This is a cold system. Remember, we was over here, we were getting that strong north wind. Well, now it's rolling in this way, and everything around it is sort of flowing in a clockwise fashion. Therefore, here, they're getting a strong north wind, that's cold. And here, they're getting a strong south wind, that's warm. So all of the plains and North Texas will all be moderating in the next day or so as the temperatures start moving up a little bit. As we go through the next 4 to 5 days, you can see how high pressure is going to cover much of the eastern seaboard, giving them a break from all the storminess they've had. The mid-central plains, or the mid-plains, are going to warm up fairly significantly. In fact, not only will we be in the 80s, but they'll probably see, some 80s up here in Kansas as well. This next storm, the northwest, I thought, okay, here's our next storm system. Not necessarily. We're going to scratch that, because the storm center, the low, is going to basically cross across the Canadian border, and this frontal system is not going to get much farther south than maybe Oklahoma. So no cold air, no front, no rain over the next few days. Down south, and I'm talking way down south, because Acapulco's over here. Oh, by the way, I just got a report. Yes, the peak wind measured by the Mexican Weather Service was 205 miles an hour when Otis came ashore. So, you know, what can survive that? It's amazing. Well, here's South America, rather Central America, Salvador right there. This is Pilar, and the good news that it's staying way far south. I don't think the west coast of Mexico could tolerate another hurricane. And you can see how the winds are very strong across not only North America, but Mexico as well. So all the storms are going rapidly across the across the country. Up to 70 tomorrow. In Cuero, we're going to get up to 68, and then you can see how by the time we get to Friday, upper 70s and low 80s through the next 7 days. And like I said, there's no rain in sight for 7 days. That's your 7-day forecast. Reminding everybody we do have a QR code, and we'd love for you to scan that and put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's the band that just got back from the World Series.
Yep, we've got an update on the World Series coming up after the break, but a preview of the game of the week, that's coming up after the break. At a Crossroads, the two public Class 5A Victoria squads are gearing up for the most anticipated game of the regular season, each with a lot on the line. It's East versus West, red and gold versus red and black, a new face at the helm versus a veteran and an old friend. In the beginning of the season, the Warriors were projected to finish third in the district ahead of the Titans, but now the picture looks much different. East shocked most with a victory over the Veterans Memorial Eagles and now have the second place spot in a home playoff game all but locked up if the Titans can do something it has not done in the past 3 years, which is beat the Warriors.
You know, it'll mean a lot, especially to, you know, my peers in the classroom. They're always talking about it, asking me, we're going to bring the boot bag. You know, of course, I'm going to tell them yes, because it's something that we're really going to do.
East has not won this matchup since 2019, and the seniors on the team are anxious for their first victory over their friends cross town. The Titans are coming into Friday's game with the mentality of it's just another week, but it's hard to have that sentiment with so much on the line.
Well, obviously it's a big game, and it's important for our community, and I mean this is what makes high school football great, right? Is these, you know, in-city rivalries. But you know, for us, the best thing is both teams are coming in with a lot to play for.
West has dominated this rivalry as of late, winning by an average of 19 points in the last 3 meetings and scoring an average of 48 points per game. But the Warriors are aware this is not the East of old and will be ready for the different threats that East will present.
And, you know, we just always look forward to it. It's always such a big challenge. I mean, really throw records out the window, and, you know, you get to go out there and, you know, play one another. You know, it's always exciting.
West will be the away team, meaning they will be on the visitor side of the stadium in their own home and are looking to wreck any plans that their rivals to the East have about hosting a playoff game and winning second in district.
Oh, most definitely. You know, it's a big, you know, it's a rival game, you know. You're always going to have bragging rights. It's going to take a lot. You know, they're going to come out swinging, but that's why we're going to swing harder.
The seniors on the Warriors team have never lost to the Titans and are not looking to relinquish the boot without a fight, because whatever team wins this game, the seniors will have bragging rights forever over the seniors of the opposing team. Kickoff is at 7:30 Friday night at Memorial Stadium. And another nugget of information about this game is that Coach Boyce and Coach Reeve are close friends and even attended Victoria High School together. Boyce was the senior quarterback, while Reeve was a freshman who would eventually take the helm under center a couple years later. This one is shaping up to be a matchup for the ages. And also breaking news, the Texas Rangers win its first ever World Series after beating the Diamondbacks in 5 games, 5-0 tonight. The Willie Mays Award World Series MVP went to Corey Seager. Well, that's your sports. Don and Karina, back to you.
Gino, that means back-to-back World Series champions from the Lone Star State.
Yep, love to see it.
All right, stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, we'll take a last look at your weather. Plus, new research shows that cats aren't as aloof as people think. Sad songs say so much. So do numbers. Elton John just sold his Atlanta condominium in one of the most expensive condo purchase deals in the city's history. The Wall Street Journal reports the roughly 13,500 square foot residence sold for upwards of $7.2 million. Just a few weeks after hitting the market, the Rocket Man singer used his Atlanta residence as his U.S. home base for decades. The listing agent would not say who bought it, but said they paid all cash. A real estate giant announced today that this year's Rockefeller tree will come from Vestal, New York. The 12-ton Norway spruce will be cut next Thursday before traveling nearly 200 miles to Manhattan and arriving in Rockefeller Plaza. The tree will be strung with over 50,000 multicolored lights and topped with a 9-foot, 900-pound Swarovski star ahead of the tree lighting ceremony on November 29th. And we run stories like this that kind of remind you we're getting close to that season.
Yeah.
We are getting close to that season.
Feels like it, doesn't it?
Yes, and then in a few days it'll feel like summer again.
Oh, I know. We gotta
Around
enjoy
here,
it when we
you
can.
know, we just get a taste of winter and we go back to summer. But I'm hopeful that it'll be a good, crisp holiday season. But for tomorrow, the morning is going to be rather cool when you get out there early, so bundle up. But we'll get up to about 70 degrees and slowly we'll get up to about 80 by the time we get to the weekend. I don't see any rain inside for the next 7 days. Don?
Alrighty, thank you,
Karina?
Mac. And now a new study shows cats are quite expressive, specifically with other felines. Researchers filmed 53 cats at a cat cafe in California between August of 2021 and June of 2022. They observed 276 distinct facial expressions. They said 45% of the expressions were friendly, while 37% were aggressive. They hope to expand the research to include cats living in multi-cat homes and in feral communities. They would also like to try to decipher what the expressions actually mean.
And this came from a cat cafe?
Cat cafe in California. I'm a fan of those, yeah.
Are they in a catalog?
No, you know, you drink your cafe and there's cats roaming around the cafe.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a bodega cat,
I'm
you
sure
know?
they have a catalog. It wouldn't be a dog-a-log.
Oh, brother. Alrighty. Well, thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10.
Join Carolina Istorine, meteorologist Parker Cox for 25 News Now. Sunrise starting at 5 a.m. Good night, everybody.